Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the annual meeting of the PSC Credit Union. Glad you made it a choice to come out and be with us today, or if you're watching online, we're glad that you've made that choice to be with us. My name is Dale McMahon. I'm the current board chair, and it's my privilege to kick the meeting off today. I want to thank you for participating, and most importantly, belonging to the credit union. As all of you know, as a member, you help influence and guide our work. Without your input, we would just be like any other bank, and that's not something we want to be. As our current slogan says, if you go online, you will see the slogan. It says, "We are personal, professional, and priced right." And I hope that you have found that to be your experience as you've interacted with the credit union. Your management team is focused on bringing you the best services available in a technology that helps you do banking when you choose to do banking. And I think that is a forte that we have as a credit union. We're pleased with the services that are available to you. Again, hopefully you are taking full advantage of all the services that you have available to you. If you have any suggestions for improvement, obviously we are personal, so reach out to us, keep us in the loop. It's much better to hear from you than to hear a complaint from someone else that you might have had. So be sure to keep us in the loop if you have an issue that you need to have addressed. We want to hear from you when things go well, and we want to hear from you especially when you have concerns. It is now my privilege to introduce the members of the board, and so they will be scrolling across the screen as I introduce them to you. First of all, board member Dave Tates, he's our vice chair. Mr. Robert Vassell, he's the secretary for the board. Mr. Ken Netzel, he's our treasurer. Darlene DeMarco, Steve Cosmos, Robert Moulton, Dr. Karen Newman, and Mr. Steele Nadalin. We are your PSC Credit Union Board. And with that said, I do have an item of business. I need approval of the minutes from the meeting held last year, March 8th, 2014. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
And your name is? Roy? I need a second. John Wilkins is second. The minutes stand as written. Thank you. This time I would like to introduce to you Mr. Dave Tates for the director's report.
Thank you, Dave.
Well, you tell me when.
I talk a lot anyway, so we're set.
Is that good?
That's good. Perfect.
There you go.
Thanks. I want to take a chance to thank everybody who actually physically attended here, those watching us on the internet, and because it shows your interest in our credit union. I just realized I'm ending my fourth year on the board of directors, and more importantly, I think this is my 41st year as a member of this credit union. Right out of college, my wife became a teacher, and we joined the credit union, and we haven't regretted it one day since. I want to thank Dale McMahon for his leadership the past couple of years here with the credit union. I want to thank Jan Thomas and her team. They've done an excellent job. As you know, we went through a recession, and there were tough times for everybody, including the credit union. I believe the steps this credit union started taking almost 2 years ago today has led us to a more, financially sound position. And also, we've taken a step back to look at those members we may have been underserving all these years, including, new students, people who may have lost their job, people who are getting new jobs. We're trying to get back to our roots, and that is helping you as a member of PSA Credit Union. We always talk about banks. They answer to their bottom line, their shareholders. This credit union doesn't. They answer to you as a member. So we're here to serve you, not shareholders. And like I said, any service we can provide to you, whether it be mobile banking, once again, we talked about student loans, credit cards, anything, checking accounts. We're here to serve you, and we hope you take advantage of the people who work at this credit union, because I believe they're above all from seeing them close up. So once again, I want to thank everybody for attending in person and on the internet, And like I said, please use us as your main financial institution. You won't regret it. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Can you take it back a little bit? That's good. Yeah, okay. Good morning. I'm Ken Netzel, and I'll give the Treasurer's report at this time. Our assets continue to remain in good position at $119,344,328. Shares we're holding at $108,498,414. The loans to members were at $48,928,826. This was a slight decrease from 2013. So I would say that your credit union has money available for your next car loan, home repair loan, and believe it or not, with summer coming on, a vacation loan. We continue to be well capitalized at $10,365,993. The single most significant item on the income and expense statement, and we look at that carefully, we have a net income this year of $35,650. This was in part due to interest on loans of $4,123,522 and a decrease in the provision for loan losses, ending the year at $152,737. There was also a slight decrease in operating expenses with an end-of-year balance of $4,213,970. And Jan will give her report at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Netzel. Welcome to PSE Credit Union's 59th annual meeting. I'm Jan Thomas, President CEO of your credit union. And Mr. Netzel's right. If you're listening to this broadcast, if you're here in the audience, and you're going to go get a loan today, auto, I don't care what kind of loan, make sure you stop back at this credit union, because we do indeed have money to lend. And how do I know we can help you? Because, like Mr. Tate said, 2 years ago, we developed a whole new format. We went into our strategic planning session and said, something's going wrong. We're not helping our members like we used to. So we read the book From Good to Great by Jim Collins, and we developed what he called a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal. Our goal was loans for everyone. Now, in our day and age, we've seen where loans, the FICO scores have gone down, people have lost jobs, they've had medical issues, and we got to the point we couldn't help them. Our policy guidelines were so strict, we couldn't do anything. So we said, scrap it. We're going to start from scratch. We're going to rebuild the programs. We're going to do new policies, procedures. We're going to develop a new training program through Lending Solutions Institute. We're going to train our staff to listen, not to just give that loan for that person sitting in front of you that says, hey, I need a car loan. But here they have a Visa card that's paying 23% interest. We want to bring them over. We want to consolidate your loans. We had members who we've been able to decrease a payment from $1,000 to $200 a month just by consolidation. We want to be able to do that for you. So in being good to great, have we succeeded? Well, not totally, but we have increased our loans by $6.1 million over a 14-month period. Nice to start with, but we've got more way to go. We ended the year with a profit, which has been phenomenal for us because as everybody else had the economic downturn, so did we. That interest rate reduction, and I know for senior citizens has been painful, has also been painful for this credit union. And why? Because we don't have every instrument to invest in. We can't just put our money anywhere we want. We have to make sure it's government guaranteed. In our marketing department, we have e-blasts, newsletters, classroom presentations. We brought in 8 new select employee groups. We haven't done that in a while. That was great to see. We have school banking. We post on Facebook weekly. We have 2 YouTubes and 12 tweets on Twitter. We also introduced this past year single sign-on. And what's single sign-on? Well, for those of you, if you're like me, you're using your home financial services, and I could go right up to the teller counter, but I don't like to. I'm tied with technology also. So you can go on there and you can do your bill payer, you can look at your accounts, and you can also go to your Visa, your PSE Visa card. That's great, because what does that mean? 2 less codes to remember. And if you're like me and you're aging, and 1 more code is not the, and then I change them and I can't remember which one I changed to what. So, then you write them on index cards and you hope you don't lose the index cards so you don't get them stolen. So it's nice to be able to go to one spot, click it on, and be able to do all those transactions. We also introduced our prepaid travel cards and our prepaid reloadable Visa debit cards. Now you'd say, well, why do you need a prepaid reloadable Visa debit card if I can have a regular debit card or a Visa card? Well, for some people, they've not been able to get checking accounts because they've had so much trouble in their past. Or for those of you that look at it and say, I'm going to be going on the internet, and I really don't want my regular Visa card out there. I want to have something that has very limited, and I know that if it gets taken, I don't have to worry about it. So a lot of people use it just for the internet access. We also have pay it forward. And what does that mean? That's another lending item. If you get any loan with us, and I don't care what kind of loan it is, and you bring one of your family or friends to get a loan also, we will give you $50 for referring and $25 to the person getting the new loan. Hey, that's an easy way to make some money. What else did we do? We opened 1,177 new accounts. And we also opened 616 new checking accounts this past year. We introduced our account create, and what was that for? A lot of people say, well, that's great, I'd love to be a member, but I can't always get there. They were able to join the credit union right online, and it's been very successful for us. We've had a lot of new accounts open that way. One of the things that we continue to encourage in 2014, and I hope all of you take a good listen to this, is our ID Protect program. $2 a month, $24 a year. It's the best insurance policy you can own. And I know people say to me, well, I can get my credit score from Credit Karma. I don't have to have ID Protect and pay anything. Credit Karma doesn't protect your account. All it does is tell you your credit score. You can get your credit score at a lot of places these days. But what happens when somebody tampers with your credit report? A lot of times I'll open a new account and I get an alert on my phone that says, your credit score, your credit report has been accessed. 99% of the time it's yourself. But what about that 1% when it's not you? When somebody has taken your identity and they're now starting to open accounts. You go in, you check, you make sure it's yourself, or sometimes it's one of your creditors updating your information, but at least you're on top of it before it's a year later and you have a whole stack of bills before you're aware of it. And it's also good for your children's account. And the bigger part of this is, if you lose your Visa card from the credit union, we're not going to charge you anything. You're not going to lose any money. That's the easy part. It's when your identity's been stolen. It's when somebody else is now Jan Thomas. Then what do you do? Where's the attorney's fees? Where's the time off of work? Who's going to pay for that? ID Protect will give you $10,000 per incident. And the best part is it's not only giving you the money, it's giving you somebody to work with to tell you how you're going to go about recovering your identity, because it's really tough to do. We now have right now going our Spring Fling promo. You can get $5,000 for 60 months with rates as low as 6.99. That's about $100 a month. And I guarantee you, spring will come back to Ohio. You will need to plant flowers, or you will need to put on a deck, or you will need to do something. So this is a good loan to come back and get. From May 1st to June 30th, we're also going to offer again our 3% cash back on auto loans. Now, I don't know if you're aware of it, but all the time we offer 1%. If you've got a car loan any place else and you want to bring it to us, we will give you 1% of the balance for bringing the loan here. But during that 60-month time period, you got a $20,000 loan somewhere else, you're going to get a great rate, and you're going to get $600. Now, I don't know how many people earn $600 an hour, but that's really a great rate. We also introduced our evening hours from 5:30 to 8:30. For those of you that dealt with Kelly here at the main office, she's back. Kelly's on our phone line, and she's manning the hours from 5:30 to 8:30, and she would be very excited. And, not everybody can always do their lending in the office, or they don't maybe like to send it over the internet. They want to talk to somebody. So please give Kelly a call. This year in 2015, we have a coin counter in our main office. It's free to all members. And if you've ever gone to Giant Eagle or any place else to use a coin counter, it's usually about 10% to 11% per dollar charge. Well, we are going to charge our non-members 5%. But if they'd like to join the credit union when they come in, and not saying that that's really our motive for getting this machine, but we really want to have people in our lobby doing business with us. So come on in, use our coin machine. We also did a new digital sign out front of the main office, and that was for people to be able to see that if you can read the sign, you can be a member of PSC Credit Union. Now I'd like to do a little bit of tributes and appreciation. My first one goes out to Sherry Joy. Sherry lost her battle with cancer this past year. She had been an employee for 23 years. She started here at the main office and then went out to the Strongsville office. Sherry taught us how to handle the situation with dignity and grace. She touched so many hearts here. I can't remember a time where Sherry did not come into my office with a smile and a hug. She was a great human being, and she is dearly missed by all of us. We also had 2 concierge awards this year, Pam Waybridge and also Denise Padilla. Pam is out at our Strongsville office, and Denise is here at the main office. Pam was very instrumental in helping Sherry with her doctor visits and really taking her on her own time off from her job to go and assist her. She also is a very great human being, not only a great employee, because that we want to see with all our staff, but also that person that goes above and beyond. Denise Padilla is here at the main office, and she's one of those employees that make my job not so stressful at times. Every time that young lady passes me, she has a smile on her face. She's a great source of information in the visa department, and she is just somebody you just want to get to know. Helping me on the road to success, first is my management team. They help me set the GPS, they fill the tank when the morale is low, they check the tires, and they help me drive this bus down the road to success. Without them, I couldn't do this. No man is a one-person team. And if they think they are, they're wrong. It takes a whole group to make this credit union successful. And our board of directors, what they do without compensation. Their main focus is to keep our team looking ahead, not in the rearview mirror. We'll never be 1955 again. We'll now be 1965. If any of you, like me, have grandchildren and they're using their iPad for their homework, you understand the world will never be the same. So they make sure that we stay looking ahead. They also tell us, you know what? You cannot be successful unless our members are successful. Because without them, we have no credit union. To the PSE staff, those are the ones that are behind the scenes, the ones you don't see. We have them in accounting and payroll and even on the teller line. Everything that this board and I put into policy is always the fault of the teller. I don't know if you know that, but I'm sure every teller here could tell you that anything that goes wrong and anything that a member doesn't like, they're the ones that get the brunt of it. So they're the unsung heroes. They're the ones that help us down on this journey to success. But mostly, it's our members. Without you, we don't have a reason to be here. We have no reason to be PSE Credit Union. We depend on you to bring us your business. We depend on you to bring us your family and friends, to tell people about this credit union, to invite them to join. My mother always told me that you can't receive unless you ask. So I'm asking you, bring us your business. If you're going out for a loan, make sure you stop here at the credit union. I know that with your help, we definitely can move this credit union from good to great. Thank you.
Good morning. Once again, I get the exciting part of the morning's meetings, the loan numbers. A complete accounting of our loans last year is in your annual meeting booklet, but let's take a look at some of the highlights. We helped 990 members with new loans in the amount of $12,842,012.44. 342 new Visa credit cards were granted in the amount of $4,438,050. That's an increase of over $1.5 million since our last meeting. We doubled the amount of students that have our See You Succeed Visa card. And we increased 127 lines of credit in the amount of $289,500. We continue helping our members repair their credit by approving 24 Renew Visa credit cards for $18,750, and we also put 6 new mortgage loans on our books by working with our partners at Woodside Mortgage. We are pleased to offer a 3.99% Visa balance transfer promo to our existing cardholders and any new cardholders. That promo offer is for 1 year, and the offer to apply and transfer balances expires on April 30th. So we want you to contact Barb in our Visa department. We have 2 more exciting promos that Jan already alluded to in the upcoming months. Our first is our Spring Fling loan, where you can borrow a maximum of $5,000 with a rate as low as 6.99. This offer runs through the rest of this month and ends April 17th. Our second promotion is the extension of a loan that puts cash in your pocket by letting us refinance your existing car loan that is financed with another lender. If we can lower your interest rate and payment during the month of May and June, and we will put 3% of the amount we finance in cash in your pocket the day you sign your loan papers. We also started, as Jan said, our after-hours call center for all of you that like to talk to a loan officer after work or at the end of a very busy day when we're closed. And many of you, there are a few here that worked with Kelly, so she'll be happy to hear from you. We look forward to helping you because when you grow, improve, and succeed, so do we. It's a pleasure to serve you, and remember to pass the credit union's name on to friends and family so we can all pay it forward. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Marty Vagey, member of the Audit Committee. Our chairperson is Bill Borkwin, who is enjoying the sunny days in Florida, but he'll be back. Other members are Diane Snyder and Jeff Taylor. The Audit Committee certifies the financial statement fairly represents the financial position of the credit union and the results of its operation in conformity with generally accepted accounting principles. The committee retains GBQ Partners, LLC, to perform an audit of PSC Credit Union's books and records.
Thank you, Ms. Vagey. Is there any unfinished business? I'm not aware of any. So we'll have new business at this time. Ms. DeMarco.
Good morning. I'm Darlene DeMarco, and I also have the exciting job of declaring the dividends. With a bit of good news, they have not gone down. So here we go. From 0 to $24,999.99, we pay the APY is 0.05%. From $25,000 to $99,999.99, the APY is 0.05%. $100,000 and up, it's 0.10%. Our Christmas Club dividends are declared at the October board meeting, and they're paid at 0.05%, the same as our regular share draft. Or share accounts, I'm sorry. The IRA savings is 0.20%, checking account is 0.05%, and our HSA checking accounts are 1.05%. Thank you.
You probably noticed that there was not an election for the board of directors this year because the available positions on the board of directors were uncontested. Balloting was not necessary.
At this time, the members of the board and Jan Thomas and her team, we want to thank Dale McMahon for his 2 years of service as chairman of this board. As you notice, we went into a positive number last year. Obviously we tribute that to Dale's leadership. So at this time, I would like to have Dale come up here, and we'd like to give him a token of our appreciation. There you go, Dale.
Good day. Again, I just want to say I'm humbled. It is just it's a privilege to be a part of the board. My participation at times I feel is not as much as maybe as it should be, but I'd like to just thank everybody that serves, because this is, as you've heard already, this is a volunteer position, and we serve it and want to do a good job for everyone who's a member. So thank you very much for that. Now, this is the good part of the meeting I think everyone likes. Is there any more business to come before the board? If not, I need a motion to adjourn this meeting. I'm glad you were having so much fun you didn't want to adjourn. That motion is accepted. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.